In this video we're going to patch this hole by cutting out the broken piece of plasterboard. We're going to install some back blocks, install the new piece and apply some tape, and then I'll show you how to polish it and finish it all with one mix and absolutely no sanding. Hi guys, Brad McKinnon here, back with another video. We've got a small hole in the wall and we're going to patch this up today. Remember, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And we're going to start off by just holding up a new piece of plasterboard, and we're just going to mark out a square piece just big enough to cover our hole. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut our new piece first, and then we'll cut the area out on the wall. So we'll just hold it up and we'll mark around it, put a little arrow at the top so you know which way it goes. And we're not actually going to cut on the lines, we're going to cut 10mm inside the lines. I'll show you why in a minute. But 10mm is the thickness of the plasterboard, and we're just going to go inside those lines. We'll just mark around to begin with, nice straight line. Then we can just take our time with a knife and cut that out nicely, get rid of all the loose stuff behind. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to just cut that edge at a 45 degree back to the line. So remember, our plasterboard is 10mm thick and we cut 10mm inside that line, so we can do our little 45 degree cut here. And then we're going to do the same on our new piece of plasterboard. Just cut those edges at 45 degrees, just like that. And the reason is, so when we put our new piece in, it won't fall inside the wall. It's pretty solid. If someone ever hits it or taps it, it's not going to fall inside the wall. And just to give it some extra strength, we're going to install some back blocks. So just a couple of bits of offcuts of plasterboard. Just make sure they fit in first, and get any of those niggly bits or loose bits hanging off the back inside the wall there, because those back blocks are going to be stuck on with plaster right up against the back of the plasterboard, so we want it all nice and clean there. Now I like to just take off that layer of paint, just really lightly scoring that paint, so we can run our knife in and just peel that paint off. Just makes life a bit easier when we're using our plaster, and plaster adheres better to the paper on the plasterboard rather than the paint. So we can peel that paint off, give it a scuff up, give it a sand if you've got some sandpaper. And while we are doing that, we'll just cut our bit of fiberglass tape to the right size, get everything ready to go. And I'm going to use some cornerspond plaster. I've just mixed up that one little mix in the ice cream container there. And this is a plaster adhesive. It's a setting plaster, there's no set time. What actually happens is the more you beat it up and play with it, which is what I'm doing there, the faster it goes off. So we're going to do all 3 coats with this. Now I've just got enough out to do my back block, stick in the plasterboard and do the first coat of tape on my hawk, and I'm just going to mix that up, give it a good beat up for 5 minutes, and that'll cause it to set really fast and go hard really fast. So now that we've done that, we're just going to apply some of that cornerspond adhesive to our back blocks, and we'll just slide that in gently there, and then just pull it against the back of the plasterboard. That is just creating a bit of strength. Same with the other one on each side. So again, if anyone taps it with their foot or falls against it or whatever, that's not going to break that new piece we've put in there, because it's got a lot of strength there. That plaster adhesive is really, really strong. It's what we use to put up plaster cornice with in Jib Cove. Now I'm just going to apply some along that edge, and again I'm going to apply some to our new piece so it's all stuck in there really solid, and then that's all going to stick to those back blocks as well. So that's going to be really strong, and then again we're taping it as well. So and we'll just press that in, and we're going to just tap that in so it's nice and flush with the board that's there on the wall. We don't want it sticking out. If anything, it could be just in that little bit too far, and we can just fill it over, but we definitely want it sitting back flush. We don't want to be plastering over something that's sticking out. So that there is nice and flush. Just using that same plaster, we're just going to apply the tape. And we'll just hold the tape while we press it into that plaster, and then just coat over it again. And once I've done that, I can get rid of that plaster on my hawk and then get some out of the container, which will be nice and wet, and then mix that up again, and we'll start doing our second coat. So here's the mix I just mixed up on the hawk and trowel. I mean, it's going off already. It's going hard. Here's the stuff I mixed up. You know, it's still quite wet. So that stuff there, yeah, it's going hard. So I can start coating again. What I'll do is I'll get some of the good stuff and then start beating that up again, and then because that's been sitting there a while, that's actually going to go off. Well, it's going to get set harder faster. So if I keep beating that for 2 minutes, say, it'll actually start going hard on the trowel. So I can actually feel it starting to go off. So we'll give that a good mix up and coat that. And then that'll be ready again straight away for the next one. Someone once said to me when they were watching me do this, they said it sounded like they were at a Japanese restaurant. I guess they're right. So we'll just give that a bit of a scrape. Now it's such a small patch, I can afford to actually mix this up until it starts going hard on here. All I've got to do is coat that, which is going to take 2 seconds. So the more I beat it up, you know, the faster or the less time I'm going to be here. So we'll just coat this way this time. You can see that there's already started to go. We'll put that aside. And then we'll start mixing up the next bit, ready for the next coat. this time we're going to go the opposite way, just to fill in any hollows. So this is not dry, this is hard and set. There's a big difference between dry and set, dry and hard. When it's hard, you can, with this stuff anyway, you can go over it again and coat it again, but you can't paint it until it's fully dry. Or if you wanted to put a top coat of air drying finishing plaster on, you really should wait till that's, well, you definitely should wait till that's fully dry. See here my mix of plaster. This stuff is still wet. It's stuff I haven't played with. This one here was the stuff I did the back blocks with and put the plasterboard in with. It's fully hard. That one there was my second coat. See that there? Hard. And then that one's there. That was the third coat. That's just about going hard as well. See it there. So that's the difference between, you know, that's still nice and workable. That stuff there. Still time to do another coat, which I will do. I'll do my final polish coat. It's a bit of water. So that's hard, ready for the final coat. So what I'm using is just a little paintbrush and a bit of water, just to polish with. That water just makes that plaster glide over and it just creates that sort of glass finish. And there we have it. No need for sanding. That's it. We've used one mix of plaster. We've cut out the patch. We've back blocked. We've put the new plasterboard in. We've taped it in and done 3 coats, all with one mix, and all within 30 minutes. So don't have to come back and sand it. So those edges are blended in absolutely beautifully. It's almost like plastering in England, that sort of style. So Kirk Johnson, if on the trowel, if you're watching, what do you think of that one? You'd be happy with that one, I bet.